Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'll give you my normal introduction. I am attorney Michael Eline. I am a lawyer licensed in California and Texas, but I support unalienable rights and the right of the people to keep and bear arms and to be happy and to be left alone by the government. And so today I'm going to finish off the show that I did yesterday where we were talking about how these crazy school boards and city councils who are being paid off by these billionaire corporations and these rich lunatics basically think that they're gods, and the way that they treat parents and the way that they're treating the people in their constituency, it's horrific. And the mainstream media, and you guys all know, I believe that the mainstream media, the legacy media, is the enemy of the American people. And so they're not covering it, and I am. So as a result, you know that my channel was taken down by the thought police for a week, and I'm going to keep going as best as I can. Unfortunately, I have to censor myself. So I want to thank Race Gas and BZ Watchdog for showing up. And you're right, it is fake news. And BZ, during the show, I'll try to queue up my Mauve Where Are Your Papers video. I don't have it ready yet. I barely had enough time to get the videos up that I wanted today. And you and I need to talk, BZ, about the NPO deal. I need to talk to you about that after the show. Let's chat. I'm starting to feel a little better. So you guys, I had a major kidney stone and it wiped out my back. Just the pressure on my spine was unbelievable. So I'm still recovering. So just bear with me. But before we get into this too much, in the sidebar, I want to make sure I got this from Chili DeCastro, because YouTube came up with all these new rules. They're getting worse now than Communist Book with their stupid, how Communist Book constantly wants to harass people, and they hire these far Marxist fact checkers and say they're independent to fact check stories that don't even fact check the story. They make up something about the story that it doesn't even say, and then they say it's false, and they use that as a reason to shadow ban your account or take your account down. And basically, it's anything that goes against their political narrative. And we know those are the same people who didn't fact check the 40+ CIA agents who said the Hunter Biden laptop was fake and that it was Russian disinformation. And we know that at least they say 18 to 20% of voters would not have voted for Sleepy Joe had they known that the laptop story was true. So that's just another story. So the people who are spreading the disinformation are the same people who are accusing you and I of misinformation. And that's precisely why we have a First Amendment. It was never intended by our founders that the government would ever have any say on what was true or false. That's a European idea that is being imported into this country by European billionaires and the World Economic Forum. And unfortunately, the political class in our country is reliant on their money to get reelected. And so they're going along with the program, and they're trying to characterize anything as hate speech that these people disagree with. And then they're using the hate speech idea or the misinformation idea to prevent you from hearing anything or seeing anything that might be true or that might affect your decision on who to vote for and things like that. And so, oh my God, Roger Lane, thanks again, man. I really appreciate it. So Roger Lane has been one of my most staunch supporters, and he's helping out by purchasing memberships to my channel to help other people who are less fortunate so they can come in the back end. And as you guys know, I do offer advice for people who are members. I try my best to help people. I mean, the bottom line is I'm only licensed to practice law in Texas and California, so I can't give absolutely precise legal advice on anything, but I can give you general principles, general ideas, and I will share my time with you as I can. Now, for those of you who have purchased copies of my digital version of my ebook, for those of you who have purchased copies of the digital version of my ebook, sorry about the sound, about how I became a lawyer, my journey to becoming a practicing lawyer with no law degree or undergrad, first edition. For those of you who have purchased that on PayPal, I'll get my orders out tonight. I've just been, honestly, guys, I've been up since 03. I did a walk to the park and pull-ups on the jungle gym and then got back and just had to get hustling to work. working on briefs all day. So I haven't even had much time to prepare for the show today, but for those of you who have purchased the book, I'll get your order shipped out tonight. And then for everyone else, it's $19.99. If you go to my YouTube profile, if somebody can drop the link in the sidebar for me, that really helps me support the channel. It's very difficult for me as a practicing attorney to be able to break away and do these shows, but I have so many people who want me to do them now that I feel sort of obligated to do them. And so any donations or support really, really helps a lot. It really helps with my family, and it helps me to be able to justify it. Because obviously when you have, 3 people relying on you for everything, they want to get the most bang for their buck out of me, right? The beast of burden. I'm sure some of you guys understand that. So what I'd like you to do is, everybody, I got this advice from watching the Chili DeCastro show. So in the sidebar, type, "This is a reaction video," anytime that I do a video, because YouTube's really going after people like me. And also, we've noticed recently that apparently YouTube is preventing people from being able to like or comment on my short videos. So please, during the program, if you could, guys, open up a separate window and take a look at my shorts and let me know if you're able to like and comment on them. That would be very helpful to me, because it looks like the thought police have hit this channel pretty hard in what I believe is a violation of Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. I think that they're really making a bad faith effort to target people who go against their political narrative of total government control and domination over every aspect of your lives. And we're seeing that in the public school system, where parents are being deprived of their unalienable rights to decide what happens to their children. And I'm going to finish off the videos that I did last night, where I show parents who are being targeted by the federal government as well as these school boards. These school boards, it's like Nazi Germany, or like something out of the Soviet Union, the way they treat parents. And we're going to see that in some more in the rest of the videos that I want to show you, and the way they're trying to brainwash children from kindergarten on with this crazy gender ideology nonsense. I mean, what the heck is going on, guys? Like, politicizing children? So if you're a Christian parent and you send your kid to a public school, you don't know what's going to happen, right? Because we know that peer pressure is so powerful, and they look at these school teachers as if they're some kind of a god, right? Kids do. And so they're going to take whatever these guys say for gospel. And if they're around your kids for 6 to 8 hours a day, and you're working your butt off to support those kids, and all of a sudden your son wants to buy a dress or something, well, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm here to stand up for the parents who feel disenfranchised, and the people at the city council meetings who are getting their butts handed to them. And we're going to talk a little bit about Title 42, Section 1983, and civil rights laws, and what's going on and how you can protect yourself. And we're going to talk a little bit about homeschooling and some ideas for forming parallel systems, so we can opt out of those systems of control and divisiveness that destroy the family unit, and try to form parallel systems where we can help one another. And so one of the things you guys need to know about me is I don't really support either political party. I'm a libertarian. And I like Harleys, but I stopped riding and liking Harleys when Harley Davidson went woke. And so now I'm an Indian guy, but I'm still into the biker lifestyle. I know it may not look like it. Bikers typically do not want lawyers in their clubs, right? Because it's part of the law. But I do support clubs. And if I could join a 1% club, I probably would, because that's where my mentality is. Because I believe that there are so many laws now today that everyone is basically an outlaw. So why not just go full force and become a true outlaw and become a MC member of a diamond club, right? But because I'm a lawyer, that is pretty much out. I don't know of any outlaw club that'll allow a lawyer in, because we're an officer of the court, and their whole concept is they want to be outside the law. But I absolutely can support them and support their lifestyle and support the concept of freedom and to be left alone, the same way the Amish and the Mennonites want to be left alone. We've noticed when Sleepy Joe took power that his blue-haired mafia started targeting organic dairy farms and the Amish and anyone who wanted to have good quality produce and organic foods, because we know they want to inject our foods with all this crazy stuff and put these crazy coverings on them. And I don't support any of that stuff. I'm somebody who supports having your own herb garden, your own garden,
and even collecting your own rainwater, which we know now in some states it's illegal to even collect your own rainwater. I mean, give me a bunch of ones if you think that that's insane. And so what I call that is I call those people the nanny state. And I remember when I was growing up, Ronald Reagan talking about the nanny state and how absurd it was. But if they can get their hands on the brains of your children at a super young age, your kids won't know the difference and they will heed to the nanny state. And anyone who's a critical thinker like me will be ostracized by the government and by the state. And so what I want to teach you guys is that I'm not anti-government. I'm pro-limited government, as our founding fathers were. So make sure we understand that. And I also understand that we are not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic where the rights of the individual are supreme and not the rights of the mob or the rights of the so-called minority. No minority can have any rights without respecting individual rights of the one. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into, first I want to say hi to everybody. Let me see who's in the show right now. So we've got Roger Lanes here. Thanks, Roger, for showing up. I'm going to try to move this one over here so I can see you guys better. All right. So I got Roger Lane, Brett Ray. Thanks again for helping out with the memberships. And I really appreciate it when you guys support my channel. The super chats and the book purchases are amazing. I've sold about 6 books now, which is really cool. And look, you guys, look, I'm not on this YouTube channel to get rich, but, you know, it really does show me your appreciation. And from the bottom of my heart, it really means a lot to me because I get to share my story with you. It's a really interesting story of how I became a lawyer and how I had small businesses, and I have a blue collar background and being a Marine, and now being a lawyer and being able to help people like you who I was once like. You know, when I got my bar card and I had on my credit card, Michael Eline ESQ, I noticed right away food servers treated me differently. Everybody treated me like I was special. And for a while, you know, it felt kind of good, but then I started getting really sick of it and went back to my old ways of wearing my surfer clothes and my t-shirts and my bikers support club shirts, because I realized, you know, what a bunch of BS. It's how fake can you be that people treat you differently just because they think you might have money or success. And I was very careful, you know, at first, yeah, it felt great, but I didn't fall into the trap of ever thinking that I was better than everyone else. My father always taught me those traditional Swedish Lutheran values of the way that you put yourself first is to put others first. Give me a bunch of ones if you guys understand that like Zig Ziglar or Norman Vincent Peale would say. I was in sales, so would say, you know, you can have everything in life that you want if you can help other people get what they want. And I do believe that. Oh my God, Chevy, thanks for showing up, Chevy. You know, I haven't seen Chevy for a long time, and Chevy just hooked me up with $50 of a super chat, and that is freaking outstanding. And that will definitely go towards my son's next gi. Now Gunner is Chevy. Thank you so much. And anybody who does a super chat or anything like that, you know, buys me a coffee or buys a copy of my book, I always put your comments to the front of the line because it's my way of showing my appreciation back to you. And I always try to answer your questions. I always try to say hi to everybody, but gosh, guys, my show is getting so big now, it's hard to say hi to everyone. So just because I want you to know that you're recognized, I'm going to go down the whole list right now. Jody Shiloh, thank you so much. And then Brett Ray, my freaking Sergeant Major at Arms. And I'm glad you're back, Jody. And by the way, guys, I'm not going to name names and I'm not a nanny or anything like that, but we're all brothers and sisters here. And anybody you see that has a wrench, that means that those people are my corporals and sergeants, because, you know, it's the Marine mentality, right? And so I really, really expect you guys in an honorable way. If you want to disagree with each other, don't call each other names, and especially women, guys, like you guys, like your fellow moderators. I don't want to see you calling names or putting people down, especially women, because to me, that's totally unacceptable. I'm a man of honor. I'm a gentleman. And you always put women first because they're the givers of life. They're the ones who brought you into this world, and you have to treat them with utmost respect because they deserve it, because they're the people who are willing to stay home and rear your children where you're out, you know, in danger and suffering and struggling and toiling in the fields to provide for them. And when you come home, you get the joy of those children that they gave you. And so it's very important. I want to make sure that everyone in my audience In particular, my moderators treat the ladies with utmost respect and don't insult them or put them down in any way, shape, or form. To me, it's just totally unacceptable. And you guys know better. If you're on my show, you already know that you're supposed to be gentlemen, because I'm trying to present that image for all of you, because I'm trying to be an example of civility and honor for all of you. So you have somebody out there who's doing that on a daily basis that you can try and take ideas from and borrow ideas from. So moving on, Brett Ray again. Brett Ray was playing some guitar. That's cool, Brett. Brett's a super, super smart individual, probably way more intelligent than me. Look, I'm a blue collar guy who just happened to be book smart because I spent my time in the library as a child. So I'm no genius, guys. I'm just somebody who just really cares about people. And I just fell into this channel because my buddy Chili got locked up, and I was helping him with his channel while he was locked up. And I realized that people are starving for the truth and for someone who wants to bring righteous information to them, not with brainwashing, right? Just, to teach someone critical thinking. And so Race Gas, right on, Race Gas. Race Gas is one of my homies. I think we made Race Gas a moderator before. Race Gas, are you a moderator? I'm pretty sure you're a moderator. Everybody make sure to give Race Gas a bunch of ones, because I just promoted Race Gas to a moderator. Thank you again, Race Gas. Race Gas is a moderator, a bunch of ones for Race Gas. And then give me a bunch of OCTAFs for overturn civil asset forfeiture laws. OTCAF, overturn civil asset forfeiture laws. That's kind of like my deal. Chili's got OTVO, and I've got that one, because I believe that these civil asset forfeiture laws are making it possible for police to be even more corrupt than a lot of departments already are, where they steal your money and then use that money for promotions and to get nicer cruisers. And it's just nonsense. And so then BZ Watchdog, my big time homie, fellow Marine as well, he said he got Tesla footage today of a cop in front of him not using a turn signal and not yielding. I'd like to see that footage, BZ. Maybe if you can shoot it to me, maybe I'll share it with the audience today, or we'll do it tomorrow. And then Roger Lane, as always, Roger's another supporter who always tries to make sure to get memberships and do super chats for my audience. And I really do appreciate that, because I believe that I offer things that most people don't. I offer integrity. And I don't believe a lot of people in this world do that. Steve Conkler, thank you so much. Steve says, do what you can. And that's right. That's what we do. Now, Leonardo Sagustame was gifted a membership. So right on. And that helps. Hopefully Leonardo is going to learn something today. And then Loans Kilts, Digistorm Digital, and Seek and Destroy. Seek and Destroy. Yeah, Metallica, man. I'm loving it. And then Josh and Shaggy Hippie. I love hippies. I'm a classical liberal. So I'm a true liberal, not these modern day Marxist totalitarians that are running our college campuses and public school boards. I'm a true classic liberal who believes in freedom, from the Leviathan, the great Leviathan. I'm a believer in natural law, that everybody was endowed with certain unalienable rights by their creator, by the universe, and the government is not allowed to take them from us. That's what I believe. And I think most of the people on my channel believe that. And then, of course, James Osment was gifted a membership. Timothy Marker, Lovey Brown, welcome to the channel. If you're watching now, it says you were gifted. I don't know if you're here, but definitely welcome to the channel, guys. I appreciate it. By the way, I'm going to try to get Rami to help me do some different avatars for my memberships. I want to start out with the private membership, Marine Corps, the Scarlet and Gold private chevrons, and then I'm going to do Lance Corporal chevrons. But I haven't been able to figure out how to do it in Adobe to make them small enough to show up next to your membership. But I want to do that. I think it's really cool. You know how Delete Laws has his cool little membership avatars. I'm hoping Rami can help me, because he's really talented at that. And then Copser 5150. I always love that name, man. That is so cool. Thank you for showing up today. And then Alan Hubbs, man. Yeah, soon saying hello will be hate speech. Did you didn't use the right pronoun? Oh my God, you used the wrong pronoun. You mispronoun me. Give me a break, right, guys? Just crazy nonsense. Chad Crum, thank you so much. And yes, thank you everyone in the chat. Chevy, as Chili de Castro would say. I love having you on my show. And I think that Chevy likes Chevys. And a lot of you guys know that I used to build motors with my dad, and we went from 327s to 350s. And he always said, put a Ford rear end on it. That was the only problem with the Chevys. They didn't have as strong of a rear end as the Fords, but you mix and match. And my dad and I put a 350 Chevy motor in the back of a Porsche, which was pretty cool. And it was pretty torquey, pretty nice. So I got some cool stories to share with you guys sometime. Burn Thy Priest. Burn Thy Priest. I kind of like that name too. So I'm glad you're here. And Steve Conkler, love it that you're here. Jody Shiloh, I think I already thanked you for coming. Chad Crum, Roger Lane, Chevy. I'm just seeing everybody. Man, look at all these people. Guys, I am totally touched that so many people support this channel. I never expected this, honestly. It's really kind of a high to see all you guys here. Grant Abby. And then it says here, you know it to be true. Follow your heart, brother. There's a club out there for you. Man, I hope there is. You know, I support the Leathernecks Motorcycle Club, and I'm real heavy duty in, you know, with the Peacemaker chapter down in Willis, Texas, because, you know, they stood tall for my father. And obviously I support the Mad Dog chapter in California because they were the first chapter to stand tall for my father when he passed away. When Gavin Newsom shut down our economy during the lockdowns, I was unable to have a proper memorial for my father. So the Leathernecks Motorcycle Club found a gun range for me. They found a Scottish bagpiper who was a former Marine gunnery sergeant in the Marine Corps band who also happened to play bagpipes. And we did Amazing Grace, and we did, Scotland. Man, I forgot this. I'll remember it in a minute. But Scotland the Brave, that one. And we played that, and we had targets of Jane Fonda because my dad was a Vietnam vet. So we got to blast a bunch of Jane Fonda targets and Tom Hayden targets, which was really cool. Jane Fonda is a traitor. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree that Jane Fonda is a traitor and she should have been thrown in prison for all of her life. If you believe that, I do. I think that Jane Fonda is a traitor. Put it in the sidebar if you agree. And then let's keep going. So I think I thanked everybody. I think I got you all. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to kick off the show with my regular way that I do it, and then we'll get into the show. To another edition of Ask Michael Eline. This is where I teach people the law in an unorthodox manner by using examples that we see in the news, case law briefs, but it's all about exposing the Leviathan and its instrumentalities and taking back your rights. Know the law and mean to keep it well. Come here to learn from an expert to know your right. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. Boy, that's for sure, man. You never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. We saw it just happen to me a couple days ago. So today is going to be kind of more of a fun show, but I'm going to get into some biker stuff because that's what I'm all about. I really love the outlaw lifestyle. I just think it's the coolest, man. And I hope that you guys appreciate it as well. And we're going to show some videos of at least one corrupt cop who bragged about how he wanted to tase a biker off his motorcycle at high speed and how he wishes that he could shoot bikers, and just how ridiculous that is. And just how insane our government has become that they allow these animals to be on the police force over a traffic infraction or something. It's just insane to me. And so we're going to get into that. And then we're going to cover the rest of the school board meeting videos, and the school boards, the Nazi Soviet Union style blue-haired mafia school boards that are destroying the rights of parents all around the country since Sleepy Joe got elected, especially. We're going to get into that, and we're going to cover some audit videos, and I'm going to try to go as long as I can. And so hopefully you guys will like it, but we'll start off with this is my favorite video, and I know it's kind of small, and I can't figure out a way to get it much bigger, guys. Let me see if I can. All right. So hopefully you guys can see enough of it. So I do verticals because I'm trying to reach out to the younger audience, people who they use their handhelds to watch this stuff, believe it or not. The young guys don't use computers or laptops. And I know most of my audience, based on my stats, I would say about 60 to 70% are 40 and over. But you guys are already saved, right? Our job is libertarians and is disciples of the Constitution is to get the younger crowd, because we know they're getting brainwashed by the blue-haired mafia and on these college campuses to hate their country. And I believe that if they just watch a couple of my shows, they're going to start questioning what the hell is going on. How the cognitive dissonance will set in, right? And so I really appreciate you old codgers like myself for sticking around and showing the power of the channel, right? By helping me fill up the room, because then because the youth have been trained to think that unless you're popular, that your opinions don't matter. So it's really, really special and important to me that you support the channel, just for the sole reason that we can hopefully get a couple of young people and turn them to the light side of the force. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. Now, yes, it is. It is at Sturgis. That's right. So Grant Abbey says this is at Sturgis. Hey, man, you're stealing my thunder already. So this is a Sturgis video. This is where bikers go. It's like their holy grail. It's their Mecca and Medina, right? Like for the jihadists or Muslims, I guess. For them, for bikers, it's the Mecca and Medina of bikers. It's where they go to hang out, and you've got patch holders, you've got from all these different biker organizations. They're not gangs, they're motorcycle clubs, guys. Don't listen to the BS that you hear on the news. And yeah, they have an outlaw lifestyle, but pretty much these people keep to themselves. You don't really hear a lot of stories of bikers harming citizens. When they fight, it's usually amongst themselves. And typically they have their own reasons. And I'm not going to get into what those reasons are. But for me, the lifestyle in general, I support. And, I support a motorcycle club that is not a 1%er or outlaw club, because they're Marines. And so for me, I love the Marines because I was a Marine, and I still am a Marine, because once a Marine, always a Marine. So I support them, and they supported my father when no one else did. And I'll tell you, the bikers are the only ones who stand tall for veterans out of any group that I've ever met, whether they're outlaws or regular riders like the Marine Riders. The Marine Riders also rode in the back of the stick, man, for my dad. And none of these guys knew my father. None of them really knew me, but they supported me because because of the Marine Corps, because it's a brotherhood. And so that's another thing I want to share with you young guys is, even though the Marine Corps is woke and all that right now, it's still the last of the true military. And you don't have to fall into all that crazy nonsense that Sleepy Joe and his organization is trying to push on the Marine Corps. There's still people in the Marine Corps who believe in the true Marine Corps. And I think it's a great option for you young men who are trying to become warriors and braves and break through into being a man and being into manhood. So what I'm going to do right now is just show you a video of some Hell's Angels who are basically minding their own business, and you can just see the harassment that they face. And then you're going to wonder why. And then you're going to think about, wait a minute, it's not just these guys. No, they're doing the same thing to First Amendment auditors like Chili. Look, he just got locked up for 4 months. He got his case reversed on appeal, but still 4 months in jail. Give me a break. So let's take a look and let's get into it. So he's giving them orders. What am I being stopped for? I stopped at the fucking stop sign. Oh, not supposed to be cussing. I don't know. I may get in trouble for that one, guys. So make sure that you type in the sidebar, pretty please. This is what Chili was telling me. Type in the sidebar. This is a reaction video. All right. This is something that just people are going to say. And I don't have time to sit there and add boop, boop, boop. So please make sure to type in the sidebar. This is a reaction video to let the blue-haired mafia moderators know that this is a reaction video. And I'm not like trying to say anything that's bad. I just want to stop them. You just film me. Look at it. I put my foot down. Go ahead to make sure I film it. But you're not filming? No, I shouldn't get it to you. You're not filming? You're not filming. Well, then you have the evidence. Hear that? So literally he's making sure that someone's filming him. I think he's talking to the cop, right? But there's other people filming too. And that would be our modern version of the First Amendment auditor. So he's at least got evidence of the harassment. And when you see the way that these guys are being treated, what you're going to see is it's not just to them. It's to anybody who goes against the great Leviathan, anyone who goes against these powerful teachers unions or police unions, they're being targeted. Anyone who goes against the FBI and the Service Employees International Union, the guys who donate all the money to the politicians with your tax dollars, right? Those are the ones who are being targeted. In fact, the laws are so voluminous now that basically everyone is an outlaw. Like the Russian Soviet said, show me the man and I'll show you the crime. We just saw what happened with Orange Man, the political targeting of him with all this nonsense. I mean, come on, we all know that it was political targeting. It was a joke. Ridiculous what happened. But let's watch what happened with these bikers.
I'm helping keep them safe, bro. Stand bike. Stand your bike. Hands on your head. Hands
Why?
on your head.
Making them put their hands on their head? Why?
Off the kickstand, sir. Off the kickstand. Hands on your head.
They're not going to comply. Some of them are. He's not complying. I like this guy. So what do you guys think is happening here? Why are they pulling these Hells Angels over? They're not giving them a reason. Total harassment.
You got IDs on you? Nope, sure don't. I ain't gonna get it. I fucking stuffed the stuff on it.
He's refusing to ID himself. True patriot. For what? Nice little woke police force there. Fat body. A gal who can probably do one push-up if she's lucky. Bunch of donut eaters.
I don't know what the fuck, dude. I don't know what you're doing, bro.
I don't know why they're saying all these swear words. That's not appropriate. Oh, thanks, BZ. So BZ just said my live
I
from
got
the other
y'all's
night,
back, man. Y'all on video.
I didn't reply either. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk. Thanks, BZ. Give a bunch of ones for BZ. Make sure to like and subscribe to his channel, please. Yeah, I honestly don't know why they're so hard on Hell's Angels. Hell's Angels aren't doing anything to these cops. They're just there having a good time. Basically a show of force, right? They're just trying to show that we're the boss. You're nobody. They truly hate them. Yeah, look at this butterball cop over here. I mean, really? You got to be kidding me. I mean, what a disgrace. Diet private. So what's going on, guys? Why are they doing this to these bikers? Can anybody tell me? Terry, stop. Why aren't they objecting? So here's the issue. Like if I was one of their supporters, I would be doing meetings teaching them how to deal with police interactions. Because right now what I see is these officers are violating pretty
So
much
you guys
every
know I got
law
the
there is.
footage from the tent right here, bro. Y'all need it, all right?
There's an auditor helping them out.
Fuck.
Got it on tape right here for you. That's cool. Checking them for firearms. And look at the length of the stop, right? I mean, it's just unbelievable. Took his knife from him. It's like you wonder why people hate police, right? You wonder why people hate cops when they do this kind of stuff. It's no wonder, is it, guys? Give me a bunch of ones if you understand why people hate law enforcement so much. Harassing these guys, shaking them down, looking for drugs, guns. Checking them for warrants. Nice bikes, by the way. So anybody in the sidebar, can you tell me how many laws have been violated so far? They're not being told why they've been stopped. They're being searched. And why is that? Because they're being targeted. It's called guilty by association. It's a violation of the First Amendment, in my opinion. It's absolute police harassment. Love the sound of those bikes, man. Give me a bunch of ones if you guys like Harleys. Give me a bunch of twos if you prefer Indians. I like Indians now because they're not woke. Harley went woke on us. Hopefully they'll take back control of Harley with some regular patriotic Americans. Hey, Let's Go TVO. Good seeing you, man. Oh, Grant likes both. Yeah, I do. But oh, look, most of the people are going with Indians. You know what else is good is Victories. Arlie Ermey really was into Victory motorcycles. That was the gunny. Remember him from Full Metal Jacket? You are the disgusting fat body private Kyle. Remember him? Love that guy. I actually got to meet Arlie Ermey before he passed away. Really, really good guy. Stood tall for the Marines and vets. What an amazing guy. He used to have a really cool show on the History Channel. He was awesome. Give me a bunch of ones for Arlie Ermey. He was a Victory motorcycle rider. I mean, they're flat out not letting these guys go. So I'm assuming the guy in the back is the road captain, the guy in the red. Guy up front, probably the president. This one guy here, the guy on the far right, closest to us, he probably is the president. He's the most defiant out of all of them. He's showing his colors as a leader. That's what I love about bikers, man, is they're so military. They're a league unto themselves. And I really love that. Give me a bunch of ones for bikers, guys.
I'm almost over here. Ain't this like Sturgis or some shit?
Exactly.
It's the next town over, bro.
They're like, what the hell are the cops doing here? This is Sturgis. This is a biker event. What are they doing?
I got all their faces, bro.
Trying to hear what they're saying. So, BZ, if you're still here, can you tell me what a reasonable time period is to stop someone? If anybody here knows the law, what is generally a reasonable amount of time to stop someone? We've been here for a couple minutes now. These cops don't look like they're doing much of anything other than just preventing these guys from enjoying their time at Sturgis. And the reason I'm making you watch this is because once we get into these other videos, you're going to start understanding what's going on. So hopefully you're not getting bored. I really like this video because it gives you an idea to show the contempt that our public servants have for people who are shielded and protected by the Constitution. Guilty by association. Imagine if one of these was your son's, a friend of yours, an uncle, brother, and they were treated like this just because they want to be part of the motorcycle club. Think about that. Because it could happen to you, too. That's what I'm trying to say. At first, they came for the bikers, right? And you didn't say anything because you're not a biker. Then they came for the veteran. because Obama declared veterans to be a potential domestic violence extremist. But you weren't a veteran, so you didn't care. But eventually they came for you, and there was nobody left to stand for you. You guys understand what I'm saying?
They just they were parading and then they stopped. I just started video taping it. I worked doing it for legal reasons.
Yeah. I worked for the tent down the road and I saw it get fucking dead out of nowhere. I figured I'd walk out.
Yeah. Seems
Yeah,
like
they just pull them
bullshit
out of
to me.
nowhere. They just pull them over. Set up. Trying to make a bust, trying to prove, you know, that they're better. Look at these, how just these cops are totally out of shape. They look terrible. And what a terrible image, right? Like, really? Probably run 20 feet before he falls on his face. Terrible image. Terrible, terrible image. Hey, that's cool, Kinetic.
Can we move along?
And the Honda, well, Hondas are still cool. I mean, they're just not American. You know? You gotta be all American if you're gonna be a biker.
You're detaining us, like, great. I mean, come on, man. We got better shit to do.
So BZ Watchdog says a reasonable stop is going to be long enough to write a ticket and run for warrant. Now, I know from having worked for the prosecutor, it doesn't take more
We
than
all
a
know
couple
why
minutes
y'all
to run
got
for
Tell
warrant.
us not to and let us go. The fuck?
What's he saying?
Fucking harassment.
Yeah, they're saying it's just harassment. Look at
We
the one
got it
guy
right
getting
here.
laid down on his bike. That is cool. That's a cool dude right there. Now, I grew up on Happy Days. You guys remember Fonzarelli? Remember him? He was cool. You know, I always thought bikers were cool. Fonz was the coolest, right?
There's somebody that can help you put those names in, bro.
You want me to help you put the names in? I think they're running them for warrants, BZ. What do you think? Walking around with the guy's knife. Looks like they're writing them a bunch of tickets. Oh, now they're going to try to bioscan them. That's another thing I wanted to show you is this is a totally illegal violation of the Fourth Amendment, what they're going to do right now. And just remember, guys, it's easy to look down on these guys. Oh, they're outlaws, they're bikers. The police should do that to them. They're coming for you next. I encourage all of you to watch the Logan's Run TV series as well as the movie. Check out Logan's Run. It's going to happen to you pretty soon, too. If you don't stand up for these guys, it's going to happen to you, too. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's the message I'm trying to send to my audience tonight. Jeff says 20 minutes. What do you think, BZ? Do you think that it should be 20 minutes max? This is a reaction video. That's right. Type in the sidebar. This is a reaction video. We let the censors know that it's not me saying the bad words. We're not allowed to say bad words anymore. We're not allowed to talk about big pharma. We can't talk about anything pretty much, unless it's approved by, I guess, George Soros and the World Economic Forum, right? Our new masters are allowed to control every aspect of our lives. Look at this. I would absolutely object to that. Absolutely not. Absolutely no.
I don't have to pose for you for a picture. I don't have to pose for
He almost did it, though. And if he had done that, he would have been in big trouble with his club.
you. Don't have the right to take the picture.
He does not have a right to do that. That's unacceptable. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree that this is absolute harassment.
Facts, yeah. If you have his,
BS.
fucking license. Bro.
BS, man.
What the fuck?
This is going to be happening to you guys pretty soon. Watch.
That'll be real
This is a
petty.
precursor to what's going to happen to every American. With flooding the country with illegals who know nothing about our country, allowing them to get on the police force. You think they're going to give a rat's butt about doing bio measurements of you, trying to take DNA samples? They don't care. As long as they get their free hotels,
best shot
their
ever,
free
though.
food, driver's license, and get everything taken care of for free at your expense. This is going to be happening to you next. Do not let them take your picture. Unacceptable. Unbelievable. Objection. Absolutely not. I would sue their butts off right on the spot, man. These guys basically need to have a lawyer with them everywhere they go. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Unstat. Can you believe this is happening in our country, a constitutional republic? People have rights endowed by their creator that this is allowed to happen? I can't believe it. That's why I'm showing you this video. So this is harassment, okay? Long enough to check for warrants, long enough to write them a ticket, right? But they're not doing that. They're collecting evidence without a warrant. This is a violation of the Fourth Amendment, guys. Just want you to understand that. That's why I'm showing you this. This is an absolute violation of the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. This is unacceptable. They should be protesting right now against this. It's one thing to cooperate for the purposes of the stop, but it's another thing to participate in an unlawful investigation against yourself. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree.
No.
That's got to be the P right there. That's a cool head, man. I like that guy. Smoking a cigarette. True biker, man. Mr. Cool. Yeah, for me, I don't. My deal is, guys, is it kind of bugs me that all the outlaw clubs seem to have like animosity. A lot of them have animosity towards each other, because if they were to not have that animosity towards each other, they could be a force to be reckoned with and make real change in our country. I don't see them as being any different than like the Amish or the Mennonites. They just want to be left alone. And yeah, there might be some criminals in those organizations. There's criminals in every organization. I think the biggest criminal organization right now that we have is our law enforcement agencies, that they've been able to get away with. Give me a bunch of ones if you feel the same way. As a lawyer, I see it. I see the way that the involvement of law enforcement, how they're basically stripping us of our rights, and they don't even care about us anymore. 1905, right on, Grant. That's great.
Hey, how many of those tickets you guys write for this rally? Those tickets?
They're writing tickets. For what?
Probably 4.
4 tickets. So okay, how about this, since we're watching this? What patch do you like the best? Give me a bunch of 1s if you like the HA patch. Give me a bunch of 2s if you think the Mongols patch is cooler. And give me a bunch of 3s if you think the Outlaws MC patch is cooler. I want to see what my audience thinks. And I'm not talking about which club you like best, just which patch do you think was the coolest. Hells Angels 1, Mongols 2, Outlaws 3. And then give me a 4 for Banditos, for your Texans out there. I want to see what patches you guys think look the coolest. Let's take a look. Roger Lane likes the Outlaws. Ray doesn't like any patch. Genetic Customs likes the Banditos. Well, Banditos is the Marine Corps colors. The original founder of the Banditos was Marine, Vietnam vet. You know, they're really military-like too. You know, they have a command structure, and they have a sense of honor and dignity towards each other. Don't believe everything you see in the press or the A&E specials or 60 Minutes guys. The mainstream press is the enemy of the American people. I've met these guys before, not these guys in particular, but I've met all different types of MCUs and Diamond guys. And to a T, they've all been respectful. They open doors for the ladies, just regular guys who are out in a club having a good time. They don't want to be part of the system. Do you want to be part of this system where your rights are being violated on a daily basis? Do you? I mean, can you blame them? These are men that have a higher than normal level of testosterone.
You're living that, huh?
So that's the lifestyle they want to live. And what are they getting tickets for? Does anybody know the backstory to this? Like, what are these tickets all about? Their pipes are too loud? What's going on, guys? Wyoming, where men are sheep and sheep are scared, says Genetic Customs. That's classic. Well, I think banditos are police, Kyle, but the bandidos, I think they're spelled with a D, and they're based on the Marine Corps colors, scarlet and gold. But this group of guys right here, this group of bikers, these are HAs or Hell's Angels or Red and Whites. That's another name that they have for them. And you know, they just want to be left alone, and because they want to be left alone, this is the problem that we have. These guys don't want to leave them alone.
Hey, I can drop this video off to y'all. Bring it on to y'all. I mean,
you know, this video's gotten millions of views, man, on all these different channels. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully I'm not boring you too much. Stick around because we're going to have a lot of fun on the show. Yeah, no kidding, Kyle. Kyle's saying, what's the LAPD gang called? They all have tattoos. It's true. It's almost over. Just bear with me. We'll run it forward a little bit. So we're getting tickets. Now, have you guys ever seen a ticket that takes, how long have we been on the stream now? For, I don't know, almost an hour? Do you think this is a reasonable traffic stop? Man, they sound good, don't they? Love those bikes, man. Yep, he's gonna get the info. Right on, dude.
my number, so you can send it to me. Oh, yeah. Should I stop it now? Stop it now? Yeah.
All right, so you guys got a chance to see that. So let's get into some more fun. Because it's not just the Hells Angels that cops like to harass and try to kill, all right? Not by a long shot. So in this other video that I'm going to show you, this is a dude who's getting pulled over by state police. He's riding his motorcycle. And what does the cop do immediately? He wants to take the guy's GoPro from him. Unbelievable. Watch this. Look at that. Almost killed the guy. He's literally trying to kill this biker, in my opinion.
Shut it off now. Shut it off. What are you doing? Put your hands behind your back.
All that, right? I mean, just craziness, right? Absolute, just hideous craziness. All right, here comes another one now. This other video is pretty cool. It's like a cop watch video that I watched the other day. It's really good.
Crashing right into the back of a state trooper. But was it intentional? The motorcycle driver believes the trooper stopped on purpose, causing the crash. Local 10's Roy Ramos went in search of answers and joins us live with more. Roy.
And Nicole, this all happened right here on the lanes of 595. And while that motorcyclist was found to be at fault for the crash, he believes that state trooper's actions could have killed him. A motorcyclist captured on video crashing right into the back of a Florida Highway Patrol state trooper. Another camera pointed toward the rear of the bike, showing the moments the vehicle is airborne and the rider is thrown to the pavement.
What are you doing, man? Stop tailgating me!
In the video, you can quickly hear what appears to be that state trooper telling the rider to stop tailgating him. The video publicly posted to the YouTube page of Hyped Life, now at the center of an investigation.
Whoa, what are you doing, bro?
The rider claims that trooper intentionally stopped, causing the crash.
Absolutely.
He's probably trying to prevent me from running away or just pissed off because he hates bikes.
That's
wanted
right.
to take me out. He wanted to try to take my life.
We learned the
Public
crash
attempted
happened
murder.
earlier this month in the westbound lanes of 595, just past the Weston Road exit in Davie. In the incident report posted by the rider, it claims the trooper witnessed him driving reckless, weaving in and out of traffic and speeding. In an attempt to slow the rider down, he activated his emergency lights and slowed down rapidly, and the rider crashed right into him.
The worst part is my lower back. Yeah, I just got really lucky. I didn't break any bones or none of that.
But it is the trooper's maneuver this man believes could have resulted in more serious injuries
Absolutely.
or possibly his death.
It was just traumatizing. I just feel uncomfortable around police now.
Of course.
And as you heard right there, that motorcyclist was placed into handcuffs. While in the video that we were able to obtain, he goes on to say that he was never arrested, only issued a citation for that.
I got news for you. As soon as a cop stops you for anything, you are under arrest. If they tell you you're being detained, you immediately say, no, I'm not. I am under arrest. You never buy that detention thing. They use that as an excuse to try to bring in their qualified immunity and to try to say they have a right for safety or whatever. It's all BS. You are under arrest as soon as you are not free to leave. And you verbalize it if you have to. I am under arrest, period. I am under arrest. That's a fact.
At crash. As for the actions of this state trooper, well, we have reached out to Florida Highway Patrol. They tell us they are continuing to investigate. For now, in the city of Davie, Roy Ramos, Local 10 News.
All right. So I've got BZ. I got your video, man, but I'm going to show it. I'm going to show it. Hold on a minute. And I'm going to show it in a second because I want to get through these Outlaw Motorcycle Club videos. Then we're going to get into BZ Watchdogs video where he had a similar thing happen with, man, these guys are just such dirtbags. Just unbelievable, man. I'm just like blown away at the way these cops treat people with motorcycles. And it's not just outlaw motorcyclists, guys.
On November 19th, 2020, YouTuber and First Amendment auditor Cody Shearer was riding his motorcycle through El Dorado County in Middle Eastern California when he was stopped by Officer Bliss of the California Highway Patrol.
Turn my radio down.
Can I see your driver's license, registration, and insurance, please?
So what are you pulling me over for?
The GoPro on your helmet.
The GoPro on my helmet?
Yeah, the fixture, the mounting. What's wrong with it? You're not allowed to have that on your helmet. You can't have anything protrude more than 2 millimeters off the surface of the helmet.
That's a crime?
It's not a crime, it's an infraction.
Okay, so you pulled me over for a non-crime?
It's an infraction, it's a moving violation. You can't have anything on your helmet. It compromises the integrity. Can I have the information I asked you for, please?
Actually, sir, I mean, the fact that...
Does anybody know if that's true, that you can't have a GoPro on your helmet? Like, does anybody know if that's something that compromises the integrity of your helmet? Because I don't think that that's true. I think that's nonsense. And if I had a client come to me and say that he got pulled over by a cop for having a GoPro on his helmet, I would fight that all the way to the Supreme Court. That is ridiculous. Give me a bunch of ones if you think that's absurd. It's a great way to be able to identify, look, these bikers are in danger every time they go on the road. Having a GoPro is a great way to determine fault and liability in an accident. And we just saw a cop brake check a guy and try to murder him, attempted murder. Just now we saw it for the whole world to see on TV, on YouTube. And if that guy had not had his GoPro, there would have been no evidence. And the cops lie, his false story that the motorcyclist was following too closely. I mean, can you believe this? Look, we all know what they do. We know what they do. They're gonna cover for themselves. And this is just a way to violate this guy's First Amendment rights.
You pulled me over for a traffic violation of a GoPro on the top of my helmet, which is for my safety.
That's right.
It's kind of ridiculous. I will not be consenting to anything. So
Okay.
if you need to get a sergeant out here, that'd be great. But,
What's your name?
did I commit a crime?
I've stopped you for a traffic violation.
Okay.
I've asked you for your information. You're refusing to give it to me.
I'm not refusing to give it to you. It's just I did not commit a crime. And you pulled me over for a GoPro on my helmet.
And it's a traffic violation.
Which is for my safety.
Okay. Do you understand what I've stopped
What's your name and badge number? Bliss, what's your badge number?
You answer my question, and I'll answer yours.
What is
okay?
your badge number, sir?
Will you answer my questions?
I'm cooperating so far. I
No,
pulled
you're
her over.
not. You have not produced your driver's license. You have not produced your registration.
Because
You've not
you
produced
pulled
your
me
insurance.
over for not a crime. And in fact, it's the stupidest thing you can pull me over for is that freaking camera.
Is speeding a crime?
A camera on.
BZ Watchdog says it doesn't matter if it does or not. The cop can't stop you for an accessory on your helmet. That's like saying you can't have Tesla cameras on your car. Well, that's what I think, BZ. I think what these law enforcement officers are trying to say, since it's protruding from his helmet, somehow it compromises the integrity of the helmet, which I disagree with. Oh, by the way, super chat. Thank you, Roger. He's got my 6. Thank you so much, Roger. Being offline for that week, it really hurt my channel big time. I was getting millions of views. And now when I'm coming back, you can tell that YouTube is throttling my traffic, right? Like they don't like me anymore because I talked about things that are good for America and bad for them, right? Bad for their jackboot authority over the thought police authority, right? So, man, that's really awesome. Thank you again, Roger. So we're going to move off of this video because this is the one that I really want to show you guys, because it shows you the contempt that law enforcement has for the American people. A lot of law enforcement, not all of them, but a lot of them. Check this out. You're not going to hear this very well, but check this out. This is an Outlaws Motorcycle Club member, Robert Wilson of Ocala. He was arrested when his motorcycle ran out of gas after he refused to stop for deputies, according to the Flagler County Sheriff's Office. And, the problem is it's so hard to believe anything that these guys say. But look, if he didn't pull over and he was violating the law, then, he should have probably pulled over, right? And that's fine. But what's not fine is the way they treat him afterwards. Pulling someone over for a traffic infraction and then brutalizing them because you denied them the right to feel like they're all powerful. That's the issue that I have with this. We'll try to move this one along, possible. Won't let me. Well, for some reason, I can't get the dash turn thing to move forward. So they're saying that he's dumping drugs and doing all this stuff. I'm going to drop the link in the sidebar for you guys. Give me 1 second so you can watch it in your own time. But it's pretty good. And give me 1 second here. For crying out loud there, you. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll drop it here for you. All right, so there's the link to that one. Now let's get into, this will be the last biker video of the day. And I'm going to have to closely watch this one and stop it and stuff. So just watch this cop. He literally is saying that he wants to kill bikers, and he's saying how he would have tased someone off of his motorcycle. So this kind of blew my mind. So let's check it out.
Hey guys, go ahead and shut your bikes. Outstanding. How you guys doing this evening? Real good. Good. Officer Miller, South PDA. The reason I pulled you guys over, you're going way too fast. I have no problem holding.
So right now he's saying mother
I have
effers.
no problem holding these motherfuckers. Really gets down here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, Hell's Angels jacket. So, yeah.
He thinks his body
yeah,
cam's
I'm
off.
like, anytime we deal with these guys, we call in code. So,
All right. We'll just keep talking to him while you do what you got to do.
yeah. All right. You want to let maybe Platteville and any agencies to Boulder know why I start scratching. That'd be great.
Video.
Probably just shot out and caught 85 straight out then.
Yeah. And ran into me.
I guess Greeley's probably not going to come down here.
Oh, fuck.
When? After we cut them loose?
No, I told them
in the
we're holding
sidebar,
them here
this
until they
is
get here.
a reaction
Get your
video.
ass down here.
So in a couple hours.
I'm good. I mean,
So now he's saying F this, F that, blah, 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 blah.
motorcycle. He tried to go around me. He was all slowed down, so I was going to tase him, but he had a passenger on the back of the bike. So,
Hold on. Guys, hold on a minute. Listen to this.
going to tase him, but he had a passenger on the back of the bike. So,
I was going to tase him. Can you
neither one
imagine
of them gets
tasing
it.
someone
It's
off their
all
motorcycle? Think about that. I was going to tase him. So you're going 55, 65 miles an hour down the freeway, and this jackboot thug thinks that it's okay to tase him off of his. That would have been a death sentence. All right, just think about that.
I'm shooting him. I need some paid vacation.
That's what I'm saying. If anyone,
Whoa! Listen to this.
either one of them gets it, it's the tall dude.
I'm shooting him. I need some paid vacation.
That's what I'm
I need
saying.
some
If
paid
anyone even
vacation.
gets it, it's the tall dude.
You know what I mean?
That's what they think of these guys.
No one has body cams, right?
We do, but they're off.
Listen to what he's saying now.
No one has body cams, right?
No one's got your
We
body
do,
cam.
but they're off. Listen,
they're
you
off.
do what you got to do. I will wait till you're done before I go serve them their summons. So
Yeah,
you
let
go.
me talk to the tall guy real quick, and I'm sure, like I said, he's gonna tell me to pound sand, and then we'll just all get out of here, okay?
Well, one of them, they're going to be riding ditch because I'm taking one of their bikes.
Sucks to be him.
They're so proud of themselves, aren't they? I mean, it's just unbelievable. Can you believe that this is America, guys? You've got a cop saying he's going to tase somebody off the back of his motorcycle, and he's proud of it. Then he talks about how he's going to shoot him because it'll get him some free vacation time. And then he says, I hope the cameras are off. I hope our body cams are off. You guys really are, you think you're safe? Do you really think that you're safe when a cop has a body camera, that somehow that's going to protect you? No, it's not going to protect you. They just turn them off whenever they want to hurt you. It's ridiculous. Give me a bunch of ones if you think it's insane what's going on in this country right now. Now we're going to get into BZ Watchdog. All right, BZ. So everybody, I want you to watch BZ Watchdog video right now with me. And he is my homie. He's a Marine. He's one of us. He's one of the few, the proud. He's coming from Texas. Let's get it going. Try to get the full screen going here. Now, BZ, do you got sound on this bad chicken? So this is footage from a Tesla. I just don't hear BZ narrating, so I'm concerned. Okay, there's no sound. Okay, well I'll try to narrate for you. So I'll try to be BZ. Look at this jackboot thug pig. He's jackboot thug pig. I'm going to follow him and see what he's doing. No, don't run over that civilian, BZ. I'm going to see what this jackboot thug pig. He's going around. He's got his lights on for no reason. He's got his emergency lights on. He sucks. F this jackboot thug. So far, am I doing a good impression of BZ, guys? Okay, I'm going to go back. BZ wants me to go back. How far, buddy? How far should I go back, homie? He doesn't use a turn signal and almost hits the pedestrian. Ah, I see where BZ's going with this. Oh, yeah. Holy crap. Look at that, guys. He's got a point. So here goes the JBTP. He's got his lights on. I don't know why he's doing that. Obviously, he probably knows who Basil is by now.
So you got the civilian coming out into the crosswalk. It's going into the crosswalk. The cop just almost runs. Oh my God. You have got to be kidding me. Good for thee, but not for me, right? BZ. Wow. Wow. Thanks for that video, dude. Just another example of what I've been telling you guys. You know, they have their own laws that they're going to obey, and it's not going to be your laws. They don't obey the laws that they try to apply to you. That's the problem. All right. So the other night I was doing thanks for sharing that. Give me a bunch of ones for BZ in his video, and make sure to go to his channel. You see BZ Watchdog in the sidebar there. Go ahead and click on his profile. Go over to his channel and subscribe, please. He's a good dude. He's always out there trying to help the little guy and trying to help hold the government accountable. Now, here is another wild story. All right. This is just unbelievable. And I showed you part of this last night. So these are family members of city council officials, and they swarm around people who are videoing and trying to get their family members recalled because they're corrupt. So these are corrupt politicians in the city council, and there are people in public who want to get them recalled, and they want to get new elected officials. So they bring out their thuggish family members. And what they do is they say, stop provoking, while they're physically confronting and chasing and threatening protesters with violence. And so this is right out of the police academy, guys. This is one of those deals like they did with Carolina and Fort Worth, where she's getting the crap beat out of her by a jackboot thug, drops her on her head, and she's knocked out cold. And he's saying, stop resisting. And they do that because they're hoping that bystanders will hear stop resisting, and subconsciously, psychologically, they'll basically put the victim as the responsible party. They'll put the victim at fault as the responsible party. So it's absolutely absurd. But now let's watch the video. The guys who joined my show last night, you've already seen this, but for everyone else, this is kind of a new thing. Let's see if I can get it bigger. All right, check it out.
Stop provoking! Stop provoking! Stop provoking! Stop provoking! Please, sir. Stop provoking, sir. Please, sir. Stop provoking. Just leave us alone. I'm being attacked. I'm being attacked. Please stop provoking. 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 I'm walking down the street and being attacked. You see this?
Somebody call the police. These guys are attacking Seneca. Someone call the police.
All right, so we're going to get into a little bit more. So I got some more video for you to kind of tell you what's going on. So these guys are trying to recall Shang Thao and Nikki Bass. But first I want to just say something. Roger Lane says, did you know that a 3-time combat vet with 14 and a half years of service can't get on base to buy a veteran's hat or uniform to march in a parade? I didn't know that. I thought that if you were like 100% disabled vet, you could get into the PX. I'm 70% disabled, and they won't let me into the PX, which kind of pisses me off. I am able to get into the commissary, but when I'm on Camp Pendleton, I want to go buy a new cover, and I want to get like the Charlie Company School of Infantry shirt, because I was in Charlie Company when I attended SOI, and I can't do it. I got to go with someone who has base privileges. It just makes my blood boil. Just Grant Abbey, right? So let's get into this video. So basically, we've got these dudes. So you got this Asian dude and this white dude saying there's a failed mayor. And we want to recall these people. And let's just watch what happens to them.
Tell me the solution.
New leadership, competent leadership, honest leadership.
Give me an example of before.
We need good leadership.
We don't need to yell. We don't need to yell. You can have a civil discourse here. That's what the public is yelling.
Y'all don't have the ability to organize your own press conference, so you decided to crash somebody else's press conference with your microphone and your fake KPFA hoodie on when you don't work for KPFA. So don't try to talk about
You should talk to Carol Fife. She comes into our press conferences all the time. Carol Fife comes into our press conference all the time. Carol Fife comes into our press conference all the time.
Organize your own rally. You're not allowed to do
comes onto our press conferences all the time. Carol Fife comes in on our press conferences all the time. All the time. Carol Fife, she rides our coattails off of our press conferences all the time. All right? So there you have it.
Let's have a chat, bro. I live in the lower bottom.
It's too bad, Brett.
Y además soy hispano, Eduardo Escobar me llamo, soy latino, soy representando la comunidad hispana, porque están siendo abusados también.
So you can see these dudes are like insane. But the point that I'm trying to make, guys,
The solution. Tell me the solution.
the people who are preventing them from protesting, this guy right here.
Give me an example of before.
We need good leadership.
We don't need to yell. We don't need to yell. You can have a civil discourse here. That's what the public is yelling.
Y'all don't have the ability to organize your own.
We saw this part. Let's wait to see like what's going on. The mayor and these failed politicians are bringing their family members out to harass these guys.
Hispano, Eduardo Escobar me llamo, soy latino, soy representando la comunidad hispana, porque están siendo abusados también.
Here, let's watch this other one. This is great. We saw that one. All right, check this one out.
Good morning, everyone. And before we start, I know that there's a lot of people out here today, and I just want to say I love every single one of you. You all with signs, you all here standing behind us. This is our democracy. And
that's right.
Let me just give me a point of personal privilege. My mom did pass. It's my first day back, and I'm excited to be announcing this grant money. So bear with me.
All right, so this is getting kind of boring. Let's get into something that you're going to like more. All right, I know you guys are getting bored with me, but I just thought it was really interesting that we have a mayor and city council members having their family members out there going, please stop resisting. Please stop resisting. They're literally assaulting these protesters. It just blew my mind to see that. So now we're going to get into the city council meetings and people having their rights violated.
Let's get back to this big story out of Cape Coral tonight. This man you see here fighting off Cape Coral police during a city council meeting is now suing the city council members and the mayor. Scott Kemp hasn't been allowed back to any council meetings since he was escorted out last October. The mayor gave him the boot after he refused to sit in his seat. He was kneeling in protest. We have NBC2's Samantha Romero back in studio after talking with Kemp.
Yeah, well, Kemp says the city is violating his First Amendment right to free speech by not allowing him back inside public meetings, but the city council claims they're just following their own rules.
I'm a lover of J.C. Park.
What originally started as a fight for J.C. Park turned into a legal fight against city council.
I got so frustrated hearing the comments of both the mayor and the city council and their obvious total rejection of all that they had heard.
Kemp went to a packed city council meeting on October 11th to protest potential changes at J.C. Park.
Could you hold on a minute?
But it got ugly. Watch what happens when Mayor John Gunter noticed Kemp was kneeling backwards in his seat.
Those seats are made to sit. I decided to turn around in my seat. Face forward. I don't want to face. Well, then I'm going to ask you to leave. As the mayor and the city council had chosen to turn their backs on us, I chose to turn my back on them.
Kemp resisted.
You know, he was peacefully
making an expression that was political and protected.
Kemp says he thought he was only going to be kicked out of that one meeting, but every time he showed up after that, he wasn't allowed to stay.
3 different occasions, my rights continued to be violated, where I was not permitted to return.
Council members told him they have to vote to allow him back inside, but his lawyers and residents argue it should have happened after he was first kicked out in October and not dragged on for months.
How you can remove him from a meeting today when your own rules state that he could only be removed from that meeting and not subsequent meetings.
He refused to abide by that determination and thus required his removal. He was told that it was on the agenda for today, and despite knowing that he wasn't allowed to return, he returned anyway in violation.
So it's a public forum, guys. It's maybe a limited public forum, but it's still a public forum. And all the guy's doing is trying to address corruption with the city. And so you're seeing more and more of these public servants are just kicking people out and not letting them speak. And it just blows my mind that the younger generation, they're brainwashed by the school system to think this is okay. And this is the point that I'm trying to make.
Now wants to make sure no one else is banned from public meetings based on his past behavior. His lawyers filed an injunction today to try to make that happen.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. And we got more. We don't stop. Check this. This is going to blow your mind, guys. This is a case where a man was removed from Harvey, Illinois, and the city council says the handcuffs weren't necessary. And we're going to get into the torture cuff thing.
We first showed you this exclusive video last night. A man taken out of a chaotic city council meeting in handcuffs. It happened in South Suburban Harvey.
Only on 2 tonight, that man shared his side of the story with our Charlie DeMar. He's live in the newsroom for us right now. Charlie?
Joe and Erica, and tonight we have that man's cell phone video, his perspective of the entire incident, and he claims there is no reason that he was placed in handcuffs. Just minutes into a Harvey City Council meeting Thursday,
Come on, get those cameras out.
Ryan Sinwelski was taken away in handcuffs, cited for disorderly conduct. After he was released, he shared these pictures of his wrists.
Grabbed my neck, which you saw in the video, like extremely aggressively. And they were just super rough with my hands, way rougher than they needed to be.
Sinwelski was standing and recording the meeting on his cell phone. This is his video.
Right.
He could be heard commenting and reacting to parts of the meeting.
The next item on the agenda is the chair will entertain.
That's when Sinwelski says,
Then all of a sudden, I just felt this police presence out of nowhere.
Harvey police officers approach and ask him to leave.
They're trying to make me, they're trying to kick me out of the meeting right now.
There is nothing wrong with your recording, but please come to order. Or you will be removed.
Nothing said out of order, nothing, no profanity, nothing rude. This is pure intimidation.
You know what? We don't have to do this. Remove him, please.
How dare you? I didn't want to just go out.
So what do you guys think? I mean, do you think that it's out of order for him to say boo on a low voice, or do you think that he has the right to do that? Does that make him out of order? And if so, does a policy trump the Constitution? Does policy trump the law? What do you guys think? Give me a bunch of ones if you think that he was out of order. Give me a bunch of twos if you think that, you know, he was fine, didn't do anything wrong. Let me know. I want to hear what you guys think.
Quietly, because it's like, hey, I'm not doing anything wrong or illegal. There's no reason for you to remove me out of this meeting other than you don't like me.
Sinwelski says he believes he was targeted for participating in and documenting a rally earlier this week opposing Mayor Clark's policy of collecting fees from businesses with delinquent property tax bills.
It shouldn't have to take people getting arrested, myself getting arrested to get attention.
We asked Mayor Clark about the incident.
I told him that filming was permissible, but he needed to come to order.
They're manhandling that guy.
Mayor Clark loves to tell people they're out of order. He tells it to everybody. Basically, it just means, I don't like what you have to say, shut up.
And today, Ryan filed a complaint against those officers who detained him. He says he was in custody for a few hours before he was released with that citation. We are live tonight in the control room. I'm Charlie DeMar.
Look, I have a real problem with the torture cuffs. I know that they can cut off the blood flow and damage your nerves. I've represented people that have lost fingers and even hands from torture cuffs. And it's a big deal, man. Even if you don't lose your hand or your finger, the nerve damage that they can cause is irreparable. And imagine you have to use your hands every day. And the way that they were pushing his shoulders up behind his back, give me a bunch of ones if you think that's excessive force. So here's the third thing that I have to say. Whether he was in the right to go boo or wrong, right? Or if he was totally within his rights under the First Amendment, it's still excessive use of force. And that's something that law enforcement officers don't seem to understand. Even if they have the legal authority to make an arrest, like we saw in the motorcycle video where the cop brake checked him and he smashed into the back of the bike, even if he had the legal authority to make the arrest, the force has to meet the crime, guys. It's just like self-defense. If somebody's attacking you with a hammer, certainly you would have the right to shoot him. But if somebody is just making threatening gestures towards you, force would have to meet force. You certainly could get into a defensive posture, but pulling out a gun and shooting him, that would not be force meeting force. And so law enforcement is supposed to use the proper amount of force that suits the situation. And clearly we didn't see that with this guy. And let's keep going because we got another one that kind of covers another crazy jackboot thug city council meeting.
Two Wilmington men who got arrested at a city council meeting settled their lawsuit against the city. The news broke this morning, the same day the city held their last city council meeting for the year.
WCPO 9 News reporter Jessica Hart talked with the men about the suit and went to that last council meeting to get reaction.
The two men didn't show up to the council meeting Thursday night. They did tell me they will be back to council if they have something to say. They hope their case shows other local governments you can't silence the people. Two men who sued the city of Wilmington settled their lawsuit for nearly $300,000. This was the moment that led them to sue.
All right, Tony, I'm pushing something back for me. What are you pushing something back for me? Are you kidding me?
Tony Thomas was arrested and later jailed during an April Wilmington City Council meeting. A few minutes later,
I'm going to jail too, huh? We're going to sue the heck out of you guys.
Daryl Petrie was arrested and jailed too after they both criticized officials during public comment.
I knew they wanted to silence us, and I just didn't think they were going to go to that extreme.
The two filed a federal lawsuit against the city, its police chief, and the former council president. Their attorney, Matt Miller-Novak, explains why.
The reality is we're quite confident they violated the law. We filed suit and we settled the case.
The lawsuit filed in August said the city of Wilmington violated their First Amendment rights. As part of the settlement, Thomas and Petrie dismissed their claims.
As you know, we're American citizens and our rights were stripped from us so easily. And a room full of oath takers sat back and watched it.
Oath takers.
And said nothing.
Miller-Novak said the city never admitted fault, but they don't care. He said the people can decide who was right and who was wrong. I asked the Wilmington City Council about this settlement. They told me no comment. In Wilmington, Jessica Hart, WCPO 9 News.
So you just see it happening more and more, guys, where the administrative state thinks that they can silence you, right? And you see it happening with Facebook and Instagram, where they put these bogus fact check labels that don't even make sense so they can silence you. You see it now happening more and more with YouTube, where they're making the rules to where you can't even say things that are true because it doesn't meet what their fact checker says. The rule by consensus, right? If they can get 50 scientists that they pay to say something is true, if there's 30 scientists that disagree, those 30 scientists are now engaged in disinformation. Same thing is happening in medicine. So think about that. It's happening. It's happening in real time, guys. And if we don't do something about it, Kamala's already said that that's her goal, is to silence anybody who disagrees with her side. I don't hear the other side saying they want to silence people. That's kind of scary.
More times I'm trying to walk out the door and you stop me from walking out the door.
I was trying to leave a city council meeting and they literally arrested him.
That was Noah Peterson getting arrested for speaking at a city council meeting. Noah is a 23-year-old resident of Newton, Iowa. In 2020, he became concerned with how his local police department was treating residents. He turned that concern into action when he went to his city council meeting to speak his mind.
I wrote to Newton City Council and never heard back from them, so I decided to show up in person so they can't ignore my voice.
Newton, Iowa, like cities all across America, have public comment periods where concerned citizens can go and speak directly to their city council. When it was Noah's turn during the public comment period, he approached the podium and calmly read a prepared statement from his phone.
While I was reading from the statement, I called the police department fascist, and the mayor banged his gavel and told me to shut up.
And I'm going to speak a little bit about.
Wait, did you hear that? So he called the dude at the city a fascist. What does the guy do? He tells him to shut up. I mean, does that not sound like a fascist? Give me a bunch of ones if you think if you call a public servant a fascist and the public servant tells you to shut up, that probably is a good indicia that the guy's a fascist. What do you think?
Last meeting, and this is what I think should happen. I think the top two fascists in this town, Mayor Michael Hansen and the chief of police, need to be removed from power. They have shown themselves.
Do not address the chief of police in that manner. Continue on.
I address you too in that manner too, to be clear.
Do not address the chief of police in that manner.
The chief of police and mayor of this town are two top fascists, and they need to go.
Your comments are ceased.
They have
comments are over.
To be unfit.
Noah, your comments are over.
Why are they over? You can't handle being told to leave power.
Even if you disagree with Noah's opinion, what happened next should never happen in America.
When the mayor banged his gavel the first time, I couldn't believe he was doing that. So I started arguing with him about it because I was doing the right thing. I have a right to speak.
The mayor and police chief didn't just silence Noah's speech. They arrested him and charged him with a crime because the mayor didn't like what Noah had to say. So we're at City Hall where you're arrested. They put you in handcuffs and walk you out those doors. What happens next?
Police chief sets me down, tightens my handcuffs. I ask him what I'm being arrested for. He tells me trespassing. He didn't seem to have a real clue what he was arresting me for. Just knew he had to stop me from speaking.
Did they send a police car?
Yeah, he called back up, and then another cop car pulled up. I got put in the back of that, and he drove me to jail.
After Noah was arrested, police took him to the county jail, booked him, strip searched him, then put him in a cell by himself, where he sat and waited for his parents to bail him out. But that's not where his story ends. Prosecutors at the Jasper County Courthouse decided to criminally charge Noah for speaking at the city council meetings. According to them, Noah allegedly disrupted a lawful assembly. A few months later, a judge threw out all the charges because Noah didn't break the law.
I knew I hadn't broken the law, so it's completely ridiculous to me that I had to sit in front of a judge and go through a whole.
So imagine you're invoking your right of free speech, telling the city council, the mayor, whatever, that they're fascists. What do? They act like fascists. They falsely arrest you. They manhandle you. Imagine being this guy's dad or mom, right? Just think about it. It's unbelievable to me.
Trial to exonerate myself for exercising my rights.
You, like Noah, have the right to speak out against your government without fear of retaliation. Whether you are concerned about potholes, the police, or the curriculum taught in your child's classroom.
Yep.
I want to hold the mayor and police chief accountable so no one else has to go through what I went through in Newton or anywhere else in this nation.
Unfortunately, what Newton did to Noah is not unique.
Nope.
It happens all across America. That's why the Institute for Justice is helping Noah file a lawsuit to protect the First Amendment rights of Noah and all Americans.
Right on. Give me a bunch of ones for the Institute for Justice. Right on. Out freaking standing. All right, so this next video, I'm going to give it a kickoff for you because this is really this is the video I wanted to show you guys last night. So the Center for American Liberty posted this on X. And so this woman is supporting the Parental Bill of Rights, and she is a single mom, a housemaker, and she was intimidated by the school district. And what ended up happening to her is just unbelievable. Her name is Nicole Solis. I'm going to try to blow this up for you. Then we'll show you the video. So stick around to watch the video. It's unbelievable. 3 years after Nicole Solis asked her Rhode Island school district for its curriculum and teaching materials related to critical race theory and gender identity before sending her daughter to kindergarten, the stay-at-home mom compelled South Kingston to turn over those records for free. not the $74,000 that they demanded. So just the setup. She's asking the school board, give me your curriculum. I don't know if I want to send my kid to this school, because if you're teaching like gender ideology and all this woke nonsense, critical race theory, where they teach you that white people are evil and that everyone else is oppressed, right? They basically teach hatred. So she was like, I want to know what the curriculum is. So the city council, the school board, they refuse to give her this information. So she does a public records request. And what their response is unbelievable, guys. Hold on. Their response is that they try to jail her. They literally try to jail this woman. Hold on. I'm going to try to blow this up for you. So here's what they did. They want her to pay attorney's fees and a civil fine. They're saying she's going after the school district and former board members, working hand in glove with state and local teachers unions. And that's the problem, is these local teachers unions are the enemy of the American people. They're the enemy of parents. They're trying to teach this Marxist garbage and brainwash your kids into hating white people, into hating their country, telling your boy that he's a girl, telling your little girl that he's a boy. And they don't want parents to know about it, because it's an ideology. It's like a false religion. They're religious zealots. Like like to them, they worship CNN and PMSNBC. It's like a religion to them. And if you don't agree with it, they want to go on a jihad and take you out. So she literally asked the Rhode Island School District for its curriculum and their teaching materials related to critical race theory and gender identity before letting her daughter go to this kindergarten. She's a stay-at-home mom. So she compelled to have South Kingston turn over those records for free, not the $74,000 they wanted to show copies of publicly available material. She's a taxpayer. I just want you to see how crazy this is, what's going on with these teachers unions. They're complete loons. And they want her to pay attorney's fees and a civil fine. So now she's going after the school board members and the state and the teachers unions. And it's all about the teachers unions. So her attorneys got involved, and they filed a First and 14th Amendment lawsuit against the South Kingston School Committee members, Sarah Markey and Emily Cum-Iskey. And they include a Republican super lawyer, Harmeet Dillon's firm, which recently refiled a lawsuit against a gender identification prison policies. So even Republicans are getting into this stuff. That's why I don't believe in either party, right? But they're both just trying to strip you of your fundamental rights, privileges, and immunities. So the suit alleges that they acted in concert in the name of the National Education Association of Rhode Island and South Kingston affiliates to sue her in state court for her speech and political activities related to activism. So I'm not going to read the whole story, but it's just crazy, guys. I'm going to show you the video of how this went down. I want you to see what is happening in your country, in my America, what's happening right now to parents who just are questioning what is going on with these school boards. Why are you guys all a bunch of commies? Why are you trying to put pornographic material in school libraries? We don't like it. And what's happening instead is they're coming after the parents, along with Merrick Garland's FBI, and trying to paint these parents as potential domestic violent extremists. So watch what's going on. I just want you to see what's happening to your country, guys, because a lot of the younger people think that she's the enemy because they've been brainwashed by these public schools and the public school unions to think that mothers like her are the enemy. So just watch this video and you're going to be blown away. You're not going to believe that this is the America that you grew up in.
The largest teachers union in the country, the NEA, did file a lawsuit against me to bully me and harass me with frivolous litigation and to send a message to other parents that if you ask questions about public education, they will come after you. The largest teachers union in the country, the NEA, did file a lawsuit against me to bully me and harass me with frivolous litigation and to send a message to other parents that if you ask questions about public education, they will come.
So they're coming after your children. They want the brains of your children, and they honestly believe these Marxist teachers unions, the enemy of the American people. Give me a bunch of ones if you think that the National Education Association is the enemy of parents and the American people. They want to brainwash your children enforce this transgender ideology, sexualization of kindergartners in this critical race theory thing where they teach you that white people are evil oppressors and that everyone else is oppressed, right? Just like Nazi Germany did with the Jews. They're literally teaching hatred in this. They're trying to say that it's history. No, it's not history. It's okay to teach slavery, right? But this theory that all white people are evil because of the color of their skin, it's disgusting. And this all started under Barack Hussein Obama. This is all part of his plan to create social discord amongst society. And this is the culmination of that, where this sweet lady just wants to know, are you going to be teaching my kid this? Because I don't want to put her in this kindergarten if you are. So now let's do another one. This is a video about a Cleveland Heights University Heights School District facing a lawsuit. And this is because, including failure to take immediate and appropriate steps to investigate sex-based harassment. And this is in a school, guys.
I believe the first couple of people who signed up were here for awards and recognitions. And so we have Angel Fasolo, and she will be speaking on allegations of district failures and Title IX violations found in the 2 multi-victim federal lawsuits against CHUH and admins.
Since the district seems to be creating a false and dismissive narrative on the 2 multi-plaintiff federal lawsuits currently against them, I'll share some of the publicly available court filings claiming the district allegedly failed and violated the rights of student victims who reported sexual harassment or rape committed by other students throughout the Tiger Nation. The 10 specific counts against the district and/or employees include failure to comply with Title IX, Title IX retaliation, deliberate indifference to sexual harassment, denial of due process, denial of equal protection, liability for failure to comply with Title IX, negligence, willful and wanton, acting with malicious purpose, bad faith, or wanton and reckless manner, negligent hiring, retention, supervision, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Allegations include, quote, failure to take immediate and appropriate steps to investigate sex-based harassment and assaults, and failure to take prompt and effective steps to end the harassment and assaults once put on notice. The sexual harassment and misconduct had become sufficiently severe as to deny plaintiffs access to defendant CHUH.
Guys, give me a bunch of ones for Bill. You know, I really do appreciate it. Like, nobody's going to expose this stuff like I do. I'm trying to give you guys a message about what your government thinks of you. If you're a mother with kids, if you're a veteran, if you love your country, if you love the Constitution, they're treating you like you're a piece of garbage, like you're just a racist, bigot, or a homophobe, and they're dismissing anything that you say. And these are our public servants that are doing this. And it's time that we start standing up and fighting back, guys, because if we form alliances and we form parallel systems, we can beat it back the same way that Martin Luther King Jr. did when he started boycotting the stores that were treating African Americans like they were pieces of garbage. And we need to do the same thing as Americans, but not based on skin color, but based on our unalienable rights that are granted to us by our creators. And I really appreciate you all being here and joining me to get this education, because I just feel so bad for people who watch CNN or PMS NBC, and they actually believe that any of that propaganda, that leftist propaganda, is true. It's nonsense. Teaching hatred, teaching kids that someone is evil because of the color of their skin is going to end up causing a race war in this country. And it's going to destroy everything that our founding fathers tried to build. And many would say that was the goal of this happening. It's called the Cloward-Piven strategy.
Which is educational program and activities in violation of Title IX and state law. Failure to comply with Title IX amounts to an official policy of inaction. At times, victims of assault were reprimanded, disciplined, suspended, blamed, or faced unlawful retaliation, isolated, or shamed. Failure to report assaults to any public children's service agency or a peace officer in violation of the Ohio Revised Code. Failure to adequately train or supervise staff. Failure to enforce a restraining order, yet punishing a victim regarding a different, quote, frivolous protection order sought by a perpetrator. Failure to investigate or insufficient investigations. Unreasonably delayed investigations, at times months or over a year delayed. Failure to interview witnesses, omitting relevant info such as police reports or evidence. Repeatedly protecting alleged aggressors rather than victims. Many victims were forced to interact with alleged perpetrators, denying appropriate accommodations or safety plans or not following them. Failure to inform victims of rights. One employee, who board member Hines wrote publicly should be fired in an unrelated matter, conducted an investigation with, quote, numerous procedural defects, including but not limited to not letting the victim review evidence, summary of reports, but also imposing a fake rule about time limits for the victim to give responses using a stopwatch, and warned that she could be cut off. Quote, no such time limits or restrictions exist under Title IX. Regarding district response to the press given by the defendant / superintendent.
Yeah, these public servants come up with these unilateral rules that they just make up out of thin air because they think that you're stupid. They think because they went to Harvard or Yale that you're just an idiot. They really do believe that. You get around these academics, they think that people who swing a hammer, people that maybe serve food at a restaurant, they think that you're an idiot. They really do. And look, I've met them. I know how these guys think, and they look at the way they're treating this woman. I mean, time limits if you're a victim of a sexual assault, unbelievable.
Superintendent, the amended and expanded filings claim, quote, disingenuous, as the district's response highlights the commitment to a public relations campaign rather than to protecting students. It also says the district behaved with, quote, with the dishonest purpose of avoiding state and federal reporting requirements, which would have tarnished defendants' image in the eyes of prospective students and their parents.
Wow. Wow, just wow.
Thank you, Ms. Fasolo, for your comments. We respect the right of our community members to express their thoughts, opinions, and points of view during our public comment period. That time belongs to you. But we do find it necessary to address the repeated statements by some about the district's response to the very sensitive and important matter of the Title IX investigations, particularly regarding the named defendants in the lawsuits. As we have said, we are committed to responding promptly, thoroughly, and equitably to allegations of violent or inappropriate behavior.
Live.
Equitable treatment also dictates that individuals are not assumed to have engaged in wrongdoing based solely on a case being filed, and this includes not being placed on leave or subject to disciplinary action unless other facts warrant that response. We consistently review information.
Other facts like violating Title IX by using a stopwatch and telling a victim that they only have a certain amount of time to tell their side of the story. That person should have been immediately terminated. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree.
Brought to our attention and make appropriate determinations based on that information. These legal matters must be allowed to play out through the appropriate legal channels.
Guys, I mean, this is crazy. You literally have an administrator, a member of the administrative state, telling a victim that she's only got a couple of minutes and they're going to be timed, a victim of sexual harassment, a sexual assault attack, and they're going to be timed out. I mean, give me a bunch of ones if you think that that's absolutely insane. It's crazy. Absolutely insane what's going on. Now, here's another one. So now we've got a deal. This woman, she dropped her kid off at the school because the school has a policy. The school has a policy. The school has a policy that parents aren't allowed to bring their kids into the campus. They've got to leave them outside and the kids can find their way in. All right. Okay. This is going to blow your mind.
She's the first one bringing all the other little kids. And I don't see my child, but I'm like, oh, he's probably, in the bathroom or something. And I'm like, are you Miss Soto? Like, I came to pick up my son, so-and-so. And she goes, so-and-so. She was like, he wasn't here. Child was absent. Oh my God. I do not wish this on a mother or anybody.
So if you're a child predator and you know that kids are being dropped off outside the campus and you just stroll through the campus, you literally can kidnap kids. And honestly, these public school teachers, if you've ever met them, they really think that they're above you. They're above parents. It's not like how it was when we were kids, guys. Listen to her story. I mean, this is happening all over the country.
Not even my worst enemy. And so they're trying to figure out where my son is at. It took him a while to come and get me, to let me in the office. Mind you, I was sobbing the first day of school because they don't let us walk our children inside the classroom for safety purposes, right? So then I'm like, all right, whatever.
Purposes.
Second day.
For safety purposes, they won't allow parents to escort their kids into the campus for safety purposes. Are you kidding me?
Shit, they're not letting the parents in. I pick him up today. I go to the office. They're like, yeah, Romel has been absent. Like, he wasn't here. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about? I literally she was like, are you sure he didn't go nowhere else? What do you mean? I dropped him 10 minutes before 8 o'clock. I watched him go all the way in. I was literally admiring the whole moment that he was going in, because we were waving at each other as he went in all the way and took a right.
Wow.
My kid is a little he's having a mental breakdown, because watch till y'all hear this. So I'm in the office and I'm freaking out, flipping out, saying, where the hell is my son at? What do you mean he was absent? I dropped him off at 10 o'clock. Where is my kid at? Where is my kid? Like, I can't believe it. Like, you guys are not letting us walk our children to the room for safety purposes, and you guys are telling me that he's absent? Like, what the lady's literally calling every freaking kindergarten teacher, and I see nothing is happening. Like, they should already have a security person or people running around up and down looking for my child. I did not see that energy at all whatsoever. So I said, F this shit. I freaking ran out the office and started running down the hall screaming for my son's name till he hears me. And then so I couldn't hear nothing. I didn't hear anything, and I was flipping oh my God, what if he left the school, or something happened or something. I was just thinking the worst shit going on at these schools that I was just oh my God, just scared. Excuse my son. He's feeling a little he's hurt. But
sounds like
I
she got
didn't hear
him
him or nothing. There was a loud silence. I literally run out at the playground and I'm looking for him, Romel. And then I see a supervisor, supervising the children. And I'm about to ask her something hey, are you the supervisor? And then I see a little kid coming to me, bawling his eyes out. And I'm like, what are you doing here? And I literally just grabbed my baby and hugged him.
So guys, this is not an uncommon thing. And you go to the school board meetings, and the response is they try to arrest you and put you in handcuffs when you complain about this stuff. We just saw another video of a woman who wanted to know what the school curriculum was for her kindergartner because she didn't want her little kindergartner to be subjected to transgender ideology and critical race theory, which teaches hatred against white people. That's all it does. It literally teaches half the classroom to hate you based on your skin color. It reminds me of something right out of Nazi Germany. It literally teaches that. And all she wanted was to know if that's what they teach. And they got so angry at her, they wanted her to pay $74,000 to get a copy of the school curriculum. And so she sued the school district in order to get that information. And then they went after her again. And now you see this other woman who can't even find her kid. And these people, these administrators, they act like they don't even care. I mean, you see it in her face. Ultimately, she finds her kid. Now, here's another one. This is another one that's going to blow your mind. So in America, we have a such thing as the Second Amendment, right? You guys know what that is, the right to keep and bear arms. But the schools have become so Marxistized that to even have a picture of a gun is like an offense now on the campuses. Like when I grew up, everybody had firearms. It was no big deal. I used to have plastic M16s when I was a kid. I learned firearm safety when I was 5 years old. Dad was a Marine. I became a Marine. Firearms are just part and parcel of being an American. There's always going to be crazy people out there who do harm, but all it takes is one well-armed citizen to stop that. When there's a crime being committed, the police are always 10 minutes away. You could act now and stop something if you were armed. And so in this particular case, some pissed off parents teared into a near silent school board after their students were suspended for having a gun photo on, I guess, one of their computers. So that's what ended up happening. This YouTube video, I tried to play it, but now it's been censored from YouTube, so you can't even play the video. And all it was the parents went in to confront the school board members because they were given multiple days of suspensions for taking a photograph of themselves at the gun range. And it's here. I'll show you the photo next. So here's the photo. They were at an indoor range and they just showed some pictures. They had pictures on their computer of that. And that was enough to get them suspended from school. I mean, so all these young kids are being taught that guns are evil and it's awful. Can you imagine the next generation of voters? I predict you won't have a Second Amendment. If you keep sending your kids to public school, these people are teaching your kids to hate their country and the First and Second Amendments. They're being taught that the First Amendment is hateful and the Second Amendment is evil and that guns are bad. And this is what your kids are being subjected to. But it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there.
All right. My daughter-in-law had a meeting with the school on Friday. She was not able to meet with the people that were involved in this situation. She was brought in to meet with the car rider teachers, and they knew nothing about it because they're not the ones that put her on the bus. So the people that were a part of this were not brought into the meeting, first of all, and they should have been brought into the meeting. Second of all, they said they were going to change the policy. Today, I went to find out what the policy change was. I wasn't able to speak to anybody, but my concern is, what are you all going to do different about getting our children home safe, making sure they are on the right buses, and just getting our children back to you like we sent them out to you.
So if you haven't figured it out, they put her kids on the wrong bus. So she has no idea where her kids are. And, in this day, when our federal government is importing illegal alien criminals into our country, like from Venezuelan prisons, and we know that there's major child trafficking going on. And of course, the same teachers unions are supporting that, by the way, right? And then this is happening. I mean, really? And they want to take our ability to defend ourselves away as well? Really, guys?
Ensure this never happens again. Right, this should never happen again. We just had an incident where the bus driver had been drinking. We got to do better, CMS. We got to do better with hiring these bus drivers. I know we need bus drivers, but we have got to start doing better with these bus drivers, doing a better training or something, because she should have never had on a headset. Never. She should have been listening to my granddaughter when my granddaughter said to her, "This is not my bus. And if this is your bus, you know every face that gets on and off this bus daily."
Yep.
And
so you mentioned you went up to the school today and they told you the principal wasn't available.
So the bus driver's driving around with headphones on, the little kids trying to get the bus driver's attention, and they don't care. They're getting their $20 an hour plus their pension and free dental, free everything, right? You go and complain about it to the school board or one of these people in charge, and they treat you like you're a second-class citizen.
Principal wasn't available. Assistant principal was in a second grade planning meeting with no radio, no contact to nobody. I was not able to speak with the principal. I was not able to speak with the assistant principal. No communication. And I'm almost sure that that's the way my daughter-in-law felt when she went to the school on Friday. She told me that it felt like nobody cared.
It's called deliberate indifference. And anytime you have a Marxist style government, that is exactly what you will get. If I was the school administrator or the principal, I would have immediately ran out to this woman. Wouldn't you? Give me a bunch of ones if you were in charge of that. Well, first of all, if any of us were in charge of that school, this would have never happened, right? But the bureaucratic administrative class is so pompous and so arrogant. They believe that they are your master, and they hate it when parents question the brainwashing and the curriculum, the critical race theory, the transgender ideology they're trying to force on our kids. They hate it if you question that. They think that you're hateful and you don't deserve to have the rights of parents anymore. Attorney General Bonta in California, he doesn't believe parents have rights. He believes that school teachers should be able to indoctrinate your children.
And that should not be. We are a whole school system with other people's children that we are responsible for when they are in our care.
Unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. I'm just so grateful that there are still a few people out there who follow my channel and have a similar viewpoint. So basically, guys, you know, Kyle, I really appreciate you showing up. Does anybody have any questions? We've done a couple hours. I'm kind of burned out. I probably won't come on tomorrow night. I'm just too tired, man. I've been working my butt off, guys. But I'll try to cut up a bunch of shorts for you guys to watch. Please check out my shorts, because we know that YouTube somehow or another has been preventing people from liking or commenting on my shorts. So, you know, please check them out and give me some feedback if you're able to comment on them. And, you know, Jeff, I really appreciate what Jeff's saying. Jeff is saying that understand that people know how to grow food we'll be eating. Well, yeah, we need that. We need to be teaching our kids how to grow food, how to collect rainwater. It's illegal in some states to collect rainwater. I mean, you have this administrative state who is so full of themselves, this nanny state who thinks that they're better than us, and it just has to stop, guys. And I want to thank BZ Watchdog for showing up again, and I want you to make sure to like and subscribe to BZ Watchdog's channel. Please, before we end the show, type in the sidebar that this is a reaction video for me, please, just in case the thought police want to try and take me out. And by the way, I think Chili DeCastro is coming on anytime soon on Delete Laws. Go check out Delete Laws and take a look at his channel. He's got some really great reaction videos. So for the rest of the week when I do shows, guys, I would like it if you would send me some of your videos and your content for me to talk about from a lawyer's perspective. So what I'd like to see is, you know, cop watch videos, post office videos, city council meetings where people are having their cameras stolen from them, being told that they're not allowed to speak and speak their mind. If you have any stories about children being taken away from their parents for not supporting critical race theory or transgenderism, being told that it's hateful, and having Child Protective Services steal their children from them, I would love it if you would send me those stories and those videos. You know, we have to have a counterculture where we expose the administrative state in their attempt to hijack our children in our country. And so with that being said, I want to thank Chad Crum and Roger Lane, Steve Conkler, Brett Ray, Anthony Serrano, Grant Abbey, oops, I don't know how long my mic was muted. Sorry. My mic was muted for a second there when I moved it. So by the way, guys, these are called Razor Edition, made by a company, I guess, called MOBA. And these are called Gunners, but these are blue light glasses. And what they do is they prevent the blue light from the computer monitors from destroying your eyes, because you can get all kinds of eye diseases and lose your vision from staring at computer screens all the time. So if you guys are, you know, working in front of computers, I recommend that you get some blue light glasses, or get a blue film that you put across your computer monitor if you're using them a lot. Super, super important. I want you guys to protect your eyes. I'm not endorsing their product. I mean, just buy something that'll protect your eyes. And then for those of you, thanks, BZ. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. 30 seconds. That sucks, man. Yeah. So that's, I know, BZ. Thanks, brother. But so Dr. Donna Walter, let me see here. What is Dr. Donna Walter says yellow lenses. Yeah, that's right. So Dr. Donna Walter, what is the eye disease that it causes? I know it can really cause a lot of diseases in your eyes, especially children. They should be wearing blue light glasses all the time. And they give you migraines. That's right. Jody Shiloh and Kyle's right. So, but anybody who's got cop watch videos like BZ, if you've got some stuff you want me to go over, probably not tomorrow night, but maybe we could do like a Wednesday night show. I could go over some of your and Brick Jonesy's videos and do some lawyer reactions to them. Just these last few nights, I've been getting a lot of requests. One of my friends is a former school board member in Orange County, and he was telling me about one of the school teachers, a male school teacher who identifies as gay or whatever, was putting hidden cameras in the boys' room so we could watch little boys go potty and stuff. And I'm hearing stories about this all over the place, just making me totally sick. And I just wanted you guys to see that the school boards, they don't care. It's falling on deaf ears. And so I felt called to show you some of these videos, and I wanted you to see what they're doing to outlaw bikers as well, because, you know, it's going to happen to you at some point, guys. It's not just going to be them. So Forrest Goodwin calls it burnt out rod vision. And then blood in your eye diseases. That's right. And never mind the migraines until the screen. And now you get them all the time. That's right, Kyle. You got to get some blue light lenses or get the film that goes over the computer monitor. Super, super important. And yeah. And if Forrest says they look good. So I got these actually because my son's name is Gunnar, named after his great grandfather. And these are called razors. I don't know if you can see them. You can see that on there, but try to show you where it says razor. That's not showing it. Damn it. Because they're green, so it looks like the green screen. Anyways, but they're made by a company called MOBA Onyx. And these are the Gunner ones. And I really like them. And they really keep me from getting a headache. So, because I care about people, I want you guys to know. And Forrest Goodwin says, I have an 03 night train and I'm an outlaw. Really, Forrest? Right on, dude. I didn't know Forrest was a biker, but I'm all about bikers and the biker lifestyle. And again, so BZ, if you've got some videos you want me to share, we'll go on Wednesday night and I'll do lawyer reaction videos for you and also for Brick Jonesy if you guys want. And we'll try to get back on track. It's just that I've had some really, really pissed off parents reaching out to me, asking me to expose this stuff. So, you know, naturally, I'm not expecting to get a lot of comments or a lot of people viewing these because I know most people like to watch the action that BZ and Brick are into. But I am a lawyer, and I also have a duty to look after the common people and get the word out about what's going on in the schools and at these city council meetings. And it's only going to get worse if we don't start standing up and fighting back, guys. And again, if you want to support my channel, one of the best ways to do it is to get a copy of the ebook version of my book, My Journey to Becoming a Practicing Lawyer with No Law Degree or Undergrad. And in this book, I take you on my journey of how I was able to do it, how I found lawyers to work under for free so I could learn how to become a lawyer. And ultimately, I even, helped draft the Cruise Ship Safety Act, ended up lobbying for free several times, going to Washington, D.C., helping victims and doing a lot of pro bono work and doing a lot of good work and good things for this country. And I really, really, I feel called to help people. And so becoming a lawyer was a major milestone in my life, especially because I don't have the Marxist academic degrees that you get now. I learned from, doing and reading books in the library, and then ultimately finding lawyers who are good people that allowed me to extern under them. And I passed the baby bar, which is when I took it was less than a 10%, I believe, pass rate. The same program that the girl that went to all the Diddy freakout parties, Kardashian, the same program. I think she passed it on her third attempt. And then 3 years later, I passed the bar exam, the California bar exam. And then I ultimately went to a law school at night and got a Juris Doctorate, and they waived all the first year classes, contracts, torts, and criminal law for me. Because if you could pass the baby bar, you certainly don't need to take those. And so I take you on my journey in this book. And the way to find my book is just to go to my YouTube channel and then go to the description and then just open up the description on my YouTube channel and go to the PayPal link, and you can get it for $19.99. If you don't have a PayPal account, tell me what type of account you do use, and I'll try to set one up. I'll try to get one of my kids to help me because I'm not super tech savvy like that. But it's, even if you don't want to read the book, get it for someone else who is trying to better their life, because it's an inspirational story that I think that will touch anyone, regardless of whether or not they want to be a lawyer, because it talks about perseverance and sticking to things and standing up. Like all these bullies would tell me, especially lawyers, oh, you'll never become a lawyer without going to law school. You know, you're not going to make it. And all that did was make me fight harder and try harder. And I did it. I really did it, guys. People said you couldn't make it through boot camp for whatever reason. I made it through boot camp. I made it through the law study program, and I passed it. I think there were only 70 or 80 people in the history of the state of California who had actually passed it when I did it. And because of my story and my YouTube video that's got like 90,000 views, I've helped at least 20 or 30 other people get through that program. And I've also taught disabled veterans on the law study program to try to mentor them and help them. And so I like helping people, and I do care about you guys. And I just want you guys to remember that. And that if you do need to get a hold of me, reach out to me through BZ Watchdog, and I will, I will do my best to get back to you in a timely fashion. Just understand that I'm extremely spread thin. I do have 2 kids, and I'm homeschooling them, and so they're counting on me. So I can't always be here for these shows, but I do want you guys to know that I do care about you, and that I'm really, really appreciative that you joined me on my show. And I'll try to get some more high-speed content out for you this week, right? Where we expose bad cops and stuff like that, a little more energy. But again, this stuff I was doing for some friends and for some clients who have been suffering as a result of really wicked school boards and Governor Newsom with his just absolute demonic policies, with this wiener guy from San Francisco destroying parental rights, and then having these policies upheld by the Attorney General, where they treat parents like they're nothing, like they're just a vassal of the state. And that doesn't sit well with me. So even though we didn't have 20 million people in the chats tonight like we normally do, at least the 70 or 80 people who did show up and stay through with me, you got a chance to see what's going on. And less than 3% of the American people participated in the violence and the revolution. So it only takes a few of us to make change. And so I'm expecting all of you to go out there now, please, pretty please, and share, like, and subscribe to me and to BZ and Rick Jonesy, as well as Chili DeCastro over at Delete Laws, and start forming parallel systems. Everybody in this chat should be trying to become friends with each other and get each other's contact information. If you've got a small business, tell me and I'll help support your business. I'll put up a link to your business on the michaeleline.com website, and you do the same for me. Link out to me from your website. Let people know about me and what I'm doing. And if you have problems or legal issues in Texas or California, now I do mainly motorcycle accidents, if you didn't already know that, because my relationship with bikers, but I also do cruise ship law. I'm an Admiralty Maritime law attorney. I help draft the Cruise Ship Safety Act. And I'm actively involved in many lawyer organizations. I do pro bono work when I have money to be able to afford it. But right now, we're struggling like everyone else. So it's a real sacrifice for me to come on and do these shows. So I really do appreciate it. That your support means a lot to me. Those super chats, even if they're $1, it means a lot to me, guys. And so again, make sure to go and check out my shorts and try to click the like button. Make some comments. Let me know that you're able to see them, that you're able to click on them, because I'm not able to click on some of my stuff. Chili's not able to click on any of my shorts. So let me know if that's happening. so we can try to figure out a way to make some complaints up to the brass over at YouTube. And then if there's anybody who can help me start moving my channel over to Patreon and Rumble, I need some help. I can't do all this by myself. So I'm looking for volunteers. And with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. So it was good seeing you guys again, all my loyal subscribers. Semper Fidelis, Semper Fi, do or die.